Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another recording of Hearthstone. So in between the last recording, I started to make a new one, and it turned out it rained outside, and for some reason that knocked out my internet for about an hour or two. We're going to be playing Hunter Casual today, and pretty much that's all we need to do is get some Hunter victories. So, with my recording of Gone Home, I am experimenting with something new because it is a shorter series. I did 20-minute episodes. Normally, even for a short series, I do 30-minute episodes, and I need comments and feedback on that. There's definitely a couple of issues there. The new YouTube Red has been announced, the subscription service that I've been talking about. They finally gave it a name, I guess. And I haven't gotten any facts or anything straight from YouTube, but from what I hear is that anybody who is watching videos on that and paying the service, the most videos they watch, the per second, most per second, is how that split is gonna go. Which I don't even know if I'm involved in this right now. I mean, I honestly have no clue if this is only for their special partnered people. I have no clue if somebody gets on the service, if they really aren't gonna see ads on my specific channel or not. And there is definitely a lot of questions about how much, even if somebody watched like only my videos for a month and all of my videos, that would be like $10 from that one person, whatever fraction that YouTube is taking. So let's just, for simplicity's sake, say it's 50%, which I would hope it's not that high, but okay. So $5 goes to me if somebody watches for an entire month only my videos. But let's put a more realistic scenario in there and say somebody watches me and PewDiePie for an equal amount of time. Still not a really realistic scenario, but let's say somebody does that for a month. They only watch 2 videos, both videos are the exact same length. So then I'm getting $2.50 if the split was there. Now let's put it in a realistic thing. Let's say they watch one of my videos and then 100 other people's videos. Well, then I'm only getting some tiny amount of income, and I don't know. I don't know if that really would turn around and mean more income for me. Doesn't look like this guy is playing, so I'm gonna get a victory. Good. But on the other hand, where the scenario might actually be an improvement is instead of people seeing ads for videos that are 5 minutes long and getting paid, and those people getting paid more or the same as me, those people would start getting chucked less and less and choked out of the system, which might be what you want and it might not be what you want. YouTube's goal, of course, is to keep people in YouTube, not on anybody's specific channel, and they have done very, very little to keep anybody to a specific channel. or help people stay on a specific channel. So what they don't want is somebody to go on the YouTube and say how to restart a computer, let's say, and they see a video that is a minute long and it's just hit the reset button, and they watch that and then they go away, and on that 1 minute long video, let's say they saw one overlay ad and that was it. That's not what YouTube wants. YouTube wants there to be videos that say how to reset a computer, and it is as long as possible, and that way they can cycle a new ad, then another banner ad, then another banner ad, then another banner ad. Neither one of those, the 1 minute video to watch how to reset a computer, is way more realistic for that specific question. And oddly, it also means that if anybody does those prank videos where it's 24-hour cuts of something, which happens, those videos are going to get way more benefit. I mean, honestly, yes, they are going to get super, they're going to get all the income. If somebody has paid a paid subscription and they're going to go to YouTube and get one of those 24-hour cuts of some song just looped or something, and they're just going to play it as a prank, that is going to be a huge amount of watch time and get those videos pushed up. But I think YouTube is going to rather quickly figure out how to rank those back down, just like they do in their search engines and all of that. So right now, all I can say about the YouTube Red thing is there is definitely confusion. It almost certainly will benefit me if I'm involved at all, because I'm getting so little right now anyways that it will encourage it. It's slightly surprising that it also includes like 5 shows that can only be seen if you remember. I did not think they were going to go that direction with it at all. I thought it was going to be just a simple transaction of, do you want to support YouTube creators and not watch ads? But paid content has already been a thing on YouTube. You have to have like over 1,000 subscribers, and I have right now like 41, so it's not something I could do even if I wanted to do it, and unless I had a significantly more subscribers, I don't feel like that would be something I would want to do anyway. Right now, very much, and for the first years, it's all going to be just about growing an audience. There are some interesting things I've noticed about an audience too, is that when you look at like Patrick Klepek, who used to work for Giant Bomb, he has like a 1,000 subscribers. Not a lot, but, well, I'm probably wrong about how many subscribers he has. Maybe he has like 10,000. Let's just guess that he has 10,000. But he gets like 1,000 views on each one of his videos. And I don't watch him, so I've stopped watching them. But he gets a lot of views. And then when you go look at Giant Bomb's YouTube channel, which is not really where they want you to watch their videos, they want you to be a subscriber on their own site, and they want you to watch the premium things. They have like 190,000 subscribers, but they get considerably less than 1,000 views on every video. I see videos that have like 500-600 views. Maybe I'm watching them really early the day they come out, and there's a slow build over time. I would totally be willing to believe that. But there is something I'm gonna lose here. There is something to be said that the subscribers doesn't equal views. It helps. In general nebulous terms it helps. But you can have a very eager fan base that will watch all your videos, and you can have a kind of laid back fan base that doesn't watch all of your videos. When you look at Giant Bomb, of course, only a percentage of their viewers are going to watch. Only a tiny percentage is going to watch every single one of their videos. I don't even watch every single one of their videos because sometimes they're covering some racing game or some like Halo game, and I know all I really need to know about Halo. If I'm going to cover it, it's going to be because of popular demand, and I don't think anybody's ever going to convince me to really like it. But maybe I will like it if I played it. I don't know. Probably not. So yeah, there's still weirdness about what your subscriber count really means. I definitely would love to bump it up to 1,000. So just to be at 1,000 would be nice. That's more of a bragging point. I'm not sure I'd ever do paid content like that. I think you're better suited for things like Patreon and such, because if you do go about and do like a Patreon special video, then you are not probably cutting YouTube in, and YouTube probably takes a huge cut, or a bigger cut than what Patreon would. Plus, Patreon's a little bit of a different system. But that's all kind of stuff that I'll would have to think about far in the future. Let's see. Do I want to play Snipe? I think I want to play Snipe. So yes, I made Gone Home 20-minute episodes. I need feedback on that. There is a Minecraft guy who does very polished Minecraft videos that are about 5 minutes long that I watch. I mean, they're so short you might as well watch them. And he ends all his episodes going, well, that's all the time I have for today. And I'm like, wait a minute, you spent like 5 minutes. You only have 5 minutes? And sure, in all honesty, in reality, he didn't spend 5 minutes. He spent probably hours and hours getting the proper recording and editing and all of that, but he cuts it down super short, and I bet for YouTube Red he's gonna suffer horribly. I bet he's gonna have to start doing much longer videos and a lot more of them. And from that aspect, I think I've got a lot of people beat. I think I'd put out a lot more videos than anybody else. So maybe I will be finally rewarded for that. That would be interesting.
Job's done.
So yeah, I'm gonna run through I think I was talking about it last recording, but my plan is for my internet not to go out, which is sucky, and that shouldn't happen just because it's raining, but it did. A lot of wires in my area are buried underground and probably not done right. Let's just pile on the pain with our 2 damage. We can beat this in 5 turns. So yeah, I want to do the point-and-click adventure next. and really get into that. I need to actually,
The beast's so big.
if I think about it, I need to label and schedule videos, and I haven't been doing that in the time off. I was actually listening to Adam Sessler talk with Kevin Ferrara on a Twitch stream. He's at this point Adam Sessler has become a consulting agency for video games. He's involved as a consultant in pushing this Friday the 13th Kickstarter game, which, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna condemn or praise a game until I see it myself, but the idea sounds at least like it's something people can get behind. But I think pretty much Adam Sessler is out of the video game world. He was on X-Play forever, and they did some crazy stuff, and I love to watch them. And there was a lot of people that loved to watch them, but just not enough to build a channel. And there's a whole long, nasty story about where G4 just kind of got destroyed and eaten alive by the TV industry. And Tech TV was the same, and it got destroyed and eaten alive, and then the same names keep trying to make podcast things and make channels, as Leo Laporte does Twitch, and he eventually irritates or gets mad at everybody you might like on his channel until they all leave him, which is, if you really look into it, it's hilarious. He's managed to push every single name away from it, and unfortunately there's no real replacement. Revision 3 was the other part, and Revision 3 actually hired Adam Sessler and then had him doing an incredibly large amount of work trying to build a video game branch. So it was Revision 3 Games, and he tried it for a while and just got exhausted. I think the most unique thing you can say about Adam Sessler is he is the oldest video game reviewer, probably. I mean, I'm sure there probably is somebody else, but he's the oldest and has been in the industry the most. And it's an industry that's designed around having young people. So that's kind of weird.
Job's done.
I liked him for his weirdness, his quirkiness. And so yeah, he was on G4, and then G4 fell apart, and Tech TV was absorbed by G4 before G4 fell apart.
Sorry that happened.
And so really, if you don't know any of the story, it kind of doesn't matter, but there were years there where if you were a fan of computers, a fan of video games, that it seemed like the fantasy that was always said that was going to happen, that everybody was going to have jobs that's involving computers, that we were going to be a super computerized nation. For a second there, it kind of felt like that was actually going to come to pass. And then it absolutely didn't come to pass at all. while we do have a lot of computer jobs, it's not like every single job is some computer job where you have to have a computer science degree or anything. And in a lot of ways, G4 and X-Play might have been the foundation of me doing what I'm doing now. I know, I can absolutely guarantee you, I never thought about doing anything close to what they were doing while watching it. But I was definitely getting into the idea of watching people review games. And I didn't read like online reviews or printed reviews of video games before then, or if I did, it was just out of a Nintendo Power, and that was just pure hype. I knew it was, so it's like no critical review there. But all those things failed because TV's failing in general, and that's just not where it should have been. And now a new generation has YouTube to do their thing in.
The beasts obey me.
Job's done.
I need a taunt guy.
The beast.
Well, I think I've lost. So, yeah, I don't think that my desire to see him review games is ever going to be fulfilled again. I'd love to see him actually talk about stuff more, but it's just not gonna happen, which kind of sucks. There was even some small thought in my head that he would go over the Giant Bomb, and that's really where it all came from. Is X-Play was the original crazy wild video game reviews show. And then, once I realized such things actually existed, I found Giant Bomb, and now Giant Bomb is, in a lot of ways, been bought out by CBS, and they're still kind of wild and crazy, but they're leashed a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then they are missing Ryan Davis because he died, so that's a major problem right there. Can't fix that, unfortunately. So, and then there have been
I hope you like
people have come in and people have gone on Giant Bomb, so it's not the same group. And now they're splitting they're kind of splitting themselves between New York and LA,
Job's done.
which eventually I think that's going to get combined. I think probably all the CBS people want everybody in New York, or maybe not. Maybe they wanted everybody in LA, and they somehow pushed for people to be able to move to New York for other reasons. The only person I know in CBS New York's building works for CNET, and he talks about video games every now and then, but he also does a ton of other things for CNET, so it's not like he could just jump the ship. Well, he could, but I'm not sure that's really how it's going to go.
Job's done.
So I don't really know where I'm going with this conversation, other than it's kind of a weird and sort of sad history of video game review sites and TV shows, and if you push it even further back, it probably goes right into like Sci-Fi Channel stuff, because that's really where it began for me, is once they had, when the Sci-Fi Channel started at the very beginning of its run, was something that was really trying to get
Just me and Mr.
me as an audience. It was really good, and then it just kept like doing garbage and canceling things and making me upset about it existing at all. FX was kind of like that too in a weird way. FX originally started off as this like family-friendly show that had like that they were doing new live video like all day, and there was segments kind of like Geek and Sundry. There were segments about games, there was a segment of, I think, about collecting, and I was really into it, and then it just didn't get enough viewership, so they relaunched FX like the next season, and it was pretty much the FX you know now, is this hardcore Fox thing, which kind of is understandable because Fox is only comfortable with its own Fox attitude. It, just to put it simply, Fox is only comfortable with its Simpsons, Family Guy style humor. They are not comfortable with sci-fi shows at all. So if one succeeds for even a short period, you kinda know it's gonna get canceled. So right now that would be like Gotham, Sleepy Hollow. What else would be on Fox that's sci-fi? I think the Minority Report may already be canceled. I never watched it. But yeah, you can't trust Fox to keep any shows. Really, they cancel a lot.
Me and Mr. Bite.
I think we have just broader, in a broader sense, a terrible system. It used to be that you would get a endowment for the arts from like the Queen of England, or we do have small endowment for the arts programs in America too, in the United States. But usually the endowments in the United States don't have enough budget or exclude people who would make TV shows. You would have to make a play at best. And so that system, I wish it would come back and be viable, because that's what we need. We need to be able to throw like thousands of dollars to an artist to make their story without them having to worry about getting canceled or anything. And it just needs to be the full story. And that is certainly asking a lot. My thought on how you improve upon that is what you do is that we need to just clearly have it where it's like you can, if you're a writer, you write a story. If you're a writer, you write a short story. Once the short story's done, then you take that short story and you expand it into a paperback or a novel, a book. You make a book out of it, basically. If at that point maybe there's an agency that takes your book and can put you together with an artist, and you make like a comic book, which then would be actually editing your story to even less dialogue than what your short story probably would be, but it's getting you a visual. And then if you can get that to work, and that gets released to the public and they say, yeah, that's something that worked, from there you go to a animation step where you just animate your novel, and then if that sells, if that works, you go from the animation step to a live action step. I don't know if you really put like Broadway plays anywhere in this ladder. Maybe you do. Maybe you put a Broadway play in there. Get some more music going, type stuff. Maybe you just skip right to a live action TV series, and if it works in a TV series live action, then you go to a live action movie. And you just take that same story and move it up this ladder,
Job's done.
hopefully gaining more fan bases and polishing it better. I think that would be the right way. Of course, that means things like the Sandman series would be read by many people and everybody knows the series, but that wouldn't really stop anybody if they said tomorrow there was going to be a Sandman live action movie. I would definitely go see it. There's the Watchmen movie, and then they're talking about doing a Watchmen Showtime series. I'll probably eventually check that out. I don't have Showtime, but I've read the comic, and I know that the comic is probably going to be the best, purest form, but I'm willing to see other people's construction of it, or revision 2 of something. I think that would help, but I still think the endowment part should still be there. It should be like, we can endow anybody a certain amount to a short story. And you can. You can just say, we will put your short story out with ads on some website. And you'll get 90% of the revenue for all the ads that are seen as people read your short story. You could certainly do that.
Job's done.
And then if that succeeds very well, then you just go up to the ladder and say, well, here's your second endowment to improve it. Bring out the comic book, or bring it to a novel, which would be the next step, or maybe not. I'm a little iffy. Maybe it should just be you give them options too. I'm sure that some artists or some story writers would say, no, this story doesn't work as a comic book, let's just go straight to the novel and skip that thing, where other people would say, you know what, this actually would work better with pictures, and comic book actually does work.
Reporting for duty.
Of course, that kind of also is eliminating the possibility of having a novel with pictures, because that can certainly be the case too. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. But I would very heavily emphasize on, we just want to see this project done. We want to do as much as we can to make sure it gets done. Hopefully you wouldn't get writer's block. Hopefully, if you've written the short story, you would already know the main parts of it. Anyways, if you have the beginning, middle, and end, a ghost writer could come in and finish a story and fill it out. Oh darn, I should have played this. Let's see. But yeah, I want to see people finish their stories, and TV right now, it just doesn't happen. I'm a huge fan of Babylon 5, and when you know how Babylon 5 was written to be 5 seasons, and was lucky enough to go for 5 seasons, it is very nice that that actually happened. Of course, since it was pretty popular, it got a lot of stuff on top of its 5 seasons, which nowadays it still tries to make a few things, and none of them were really that good. There was an entire second series called Crusade they tried to make that got cancelled, which you can pretty much ignore. And then there's like direct-to-TV movies that have been made
I have returned.
That's not including the 5 movies that were made while the series has come out. Those movies, I guess, work alright as extended episodes, basically. So there's a lot of surgery you have to do to cut out the bad stuff that gets added on top. Much like Star Wars, which, since Star Wars is a big thing, with Episode 7 coming out pretty soon here. Star Wars had tons of comic books and novels and things that all got eliminated from the canon. I don't know how we're gonna do this.
By fang and claw. By fang and claw.
Let's go ahead and kill that one, I guess. That way, if this guy attacks here, he dies, and he would have to attack with these two. How this works. So, one of the things, let's see, that we may end after this game. I got a new game that's in early access, and I plan to spotlight it in early access since it's new. It looks kind of fun. But I got it because somebody on Imager, of all things, was giving out the key, the creator was, and all you had to do is comment for key, and this is the second time that this has really worked for me. But it does, again, bring up the point of something I prefer not to do, which is be receiving games from the creators, even if the creators don't know who I am or that I'm a video game reviewer, which, to my knowledge, none of them have. And I guess eventually that will no longer be a legitimate thing that you could say.
Well played.
Go ahead and stop saying that. But he still says even because that's an automatic thing. So it brings up the whole thing of I don't really want to be funded that way. It also, like, I've not been doing a great job, I'm realizing, and I need to improve upon the looking at the prices of things. We'll do one more game. So I need to look at the things like Gone Home. I think is a $20 game, and that might have changed my opinion of it slightly. I really like it. I'd still say get it, but it is an awfully short game for $20. I always recommend wait till Steam Summer Sale or do whatever you can do to save as much money as possible, but yeah, that would be a consideration, and I haven't been looking at prices, and I probably should be. Like right now, the Fallout series is for $10. It's on sale for $10 and it's half off. But it says on Steam they're only $20 games, which I'm like, wait a minute, how can Fallout 3, the complete Game of the Year edition, be $20? And I guess it is now that Fallout 4 is about to come out. So I have to kind of take that into consideration too, I guess. But the other thing, by getting a free game and asking or commenting and saying key please is what I say. I just, yeah, that's all I say is just I would like a key please. I'm not completely presenting myself, well, I'm not presenting myself as anything, but I'm also not divulging just straight up, I would like a key, and oh by the way I'm a YouTube critic, and oh by the way every game I get I have every intention of showing off a review of, and probably showing every single part of your game. Which, in fairness, somebody else could have asked for a key and said, I have no intention of ever playing your game, I just want it. Or I want the key and I'm just going to turn around and sell it on some third-party trading site. When people are doing giveaways, they really can't tell your intention, but the argument gets weak when it is a situation that where you could easily be looked up and they could say, oh, this guy is a video game creator, let's make sure he gets one, but let's make sure he wins this contest. And all of that is just opening doors and questions of potential weirdness that I would rather not. So again, my hope is to start gaining income on this channel to the point where I can buy all the games. I would love to be able to adopt a policy that's just like 100% of all games are purchased out at Steam prices. No keys, no review copies, no keys are given. I'm not sure I could ever even get to that policy though, because if I get big enough, people are going to eventually start giving me early copies of games, which would help me a lot and certainly improve my channel a lot. So I don't know if I can stick to anything like that. But I can say at least up to this point nobody has intentionally given me a key because I'm a reviewer.
They'll
and
never know what hit 'em.
to my knowledge. And I doubt any of them would, because they can look at my channel. They can see I only have 41 subscribers, so that's hardly like probably worth their time. But it is something I'm thinking about at the beginning. So when it does become a problem, I will have put a considerable amount of thought into it, and hopefully I will make the right decisions. But one right decision I do know I'm going to make right now is to end this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.